Hello and welcome everybody, it's MoS. This will be episode 2 of Kerbal Space Program. In this one we are going to do a little bit of testing. Yay, testing! We're going to start with command module small version thing. And we're going to set it up and do a few tests about launch parameters and how many little tanks I can put under it and so on, with the normal load of stuff like this. This much is going to be common throughout, and then we're going to figure out just how many of these tanks we can fit on here with each rocket, and lift off with each rocket to try to find the best ratio for the small rocket, and then we'll also do the same for the large rocket. It may take a few episodes, but it'll be invaluable for people who are trying to build rockets. So we'll start with quite a bit, and we'll drag you up. I'm gonna start big and pare it down slowly. So I'll start with like what I think won't take off, and then I will bring it down. I don't think this will take off, but we can see. We'll start with the large engine, so we'll do the testing with the large engine. Launch. So this will just be a basic battery of tests. Then we'll figure out best configurations, even though I know some of this stuff offhand due to playing for a while. But I can tell you this thing will not launch, probably. Yeah, as I thought. Will not launch that. Right. So, let's take one off, and try it now. And I'll get it to the closest half tank, so that way you know. This is one tank less. And I want to know what it actually lifts off, what the minimum is to lift off. That's not going to lift off. So then we'll count. Actually, I can tell you we're at 10 now. Let's try 9. Once we hit after 9, we'll try 8, so on. I think it's going to be like 6 or 7, but what the fuck? Thanks, game. Good job. Let's launch this one. I'll put the SAS on in case something crazy happens, and that one's not launching. Alright. Alright, let's try 8 now. This may launch. It may not. 7 probably will. But that's to be seen. I haven't done this sort of testing with the small ones yet in the new version of the game. This is 0.16. Ah, it works. It goes up. Very, very slowly. It goes up. Now, I want to do a quick test. Well, that may not be actually all that quick. I want to test which one goes higher which is more efficient, I guess, I would say. To launch it with the 8 rockets, the 7, the 6, or the 5, and so on, just to see which one ends up the highest. Oh boy, this thing is like rocking back and forth. But really, I'm going to see which is... I'm just going to leave it like this until the fuel burns out. We've already lost 1 tank. But I want to see, based off of these fuel tanks, like how many, whether it's more efficient to just pack as many fuel tanks as possible, or whether it's better to, well, have a little bit less, but be able to shoot less mass up might be better as well. So I want to sort of figure out which is better. So yeah, I think I will cut this here, and I'll catch you guys as soon as as soon as this engine burns out or just before it does. Okay, so I'm back. We're at the last fuel tank, and the ship is, well, it's out of the atmosphere, but we're going to see how far it goes, what its trajectory is, and that's that. So here's the apoapsis. That's going to be our little test. It's sort of wobbly as all hell, but that's sort of to be expected, I think. All right, so it burned out. So the apoapsis is at 700. Let me write this down actually, because I want to really do good testing. So first thing for good testing is write shit down. So this is the small fuel tank testing. This would be large engine, and we will go with what was it? 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5. And this one made it to 735, let's say 600. It's dropping a little bit, but that's fine. So we'll end the flight here, and we'll drop one more tank and see whether it's better to have one less tank because of the less mass. So let's launch. Then we're going to try all the different engines. I should put the... This is going to be completely hands-off. It's just going to be SAS and launch with the one less fuel tank. So we are with 7 fuel tanks now. Or, sorry, that was not 9, that was 8 before. So I should write that down again. 8, 7, 6, and 5, and 4. I'll go down to 4 then. There might be a difference, there might not be a difference, and I will find out. So these are in meters, and again, I will catch you as soon as this thing is about to burn out. Alright, so we're back here with the fuel halfway gone. And as soon as it's done, we will check on the map to see just how far this rocket has gone. This is the one with 7 fuel tanks as opposed to 8, and then we'll try 6, 5, and 4. Alright, we're done here. And the answer to this one is 767. Almost even, so we'll write that down. 767 even. And that is, well, it's dropping now. Or is it not? No, it's not. Things are just moving. But yeah, that is another 30,000 meters more than with one more fuel tank, which is a very interesting thing. Right, now let's try with 6 fuel tanks instead of 7, and we'll see if this is any better. These are all the same configuration, nothing has changed. Just the basic separator with the nose cone and advanced SAS to make sure that it sort of stays straight. And a parachute because you want them to return home. So again, I will catch you guys as soon as we hit the end of the burn. So see you guys in a second. Well, minutes for me, seconds for you. Alright, we are halfway done with our final fuel tank on the 6 fuel tank rocket. It shouldn't last much longer. It's been about 3 minutes, which is usually about, I guess that would be about right for these tanks. So we'll try that. It's done right now. And we are headed out to 681. 681, basically even. Let's call it 681. That's less than the 7 and the 8. So it seems that 7 is ideal in this setup. I'm sure there's calculations to figure that out, but to get a little bit of a better curve, I may actually graph this, I may not, but I'll go down to 4. So we have 5 and then 4, so SAS, as soon as it loads, of course, SAS, full throttle, and 3, 2, 1, launch. And I will check back with you again when we are almost at burnout. And we are halfway through. Oops, I accidentally hit the button there. Hope that doesn't affect it in any way too much. I accidentally hit the button, but it shouldn't. Again, as I said, it shouldn't make too much of a difference. But anyway, we are almost done with the stage here. So let's check it out. 520. Let's call it 527 even. Because I screwed that up a little bit, and that's fine. So, one more flight. Oops. One more flight of this with one less, and then we will change engines and work on the small engine, and we'll work through basically all these engines to see what power each has, and so forth. This is from Kerbal, not from any other place. And 3, 2, 1, launch. I'll check back with you at the end, as always. Alright, and I'm back. We are halfway through our last one. We just switched to orbital, which means this thing will just barely make it out of the atmosphere. Really needs to get above 60-something thousand, which it may or may not, before it burns. It does not. But, oh, here's our other spacecraft. This one is 336,000 meters. So that's good. Now we know our basic distances with the large engines. This is actually kind of funny. I should have ended flight originally. Alright. Now, we're going to do it with the smaller of the two engines. We'll start with we'll add more. We'll go up to 7, I think. That's 5, 6, and 7. No, that's 6, rather. And that's to make it 7. We'll start with 7. See if this launches. If it doesn't launch, we'll drop down to 6. Same thing. And then we'll do a string of 5, if that's possible. We have to be at 5 at least, but we'll try. So SAS on, and it launches. So actually, since it does launch, I want to see if the one more will launch. The mythical 8. If 8 launches, we'll do 8, and then do the same exact testing as before. So 7 definitely launches, that's for sure. Right. And SAS engaged. Full throttle. 3, 2, 1, launch. Or not. I'm actually going to see. LOLs. Hey, that's when it does. Hey, and it fell off. Oh, high explosion. You weren't supposed to be around. You ignored my explosions off thing, but that's okay. Vehicle assembly building. It seems that we will start with one less than the other one. Launch. So we will do 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. We will check the distances, clear the pad of the other one. Then we'll move on to we have 4 more engines, or no, 5 more engines to work with. So we'll do the other 5 engines with these, and then we will move on to the larger ones, and then we'll try combinations. So SAS engaged, 3, 2, 1, launch, and I'll catch you at the other end of this one. Alright, we are halfway through the last fuel tank on the 7 fuel for the smaller rocket. It seems to be doing quite well, as I think it ends up being more efficient, but I'm not sure. So we will go check it out as soon as it burns out right now. Nope, it's 492. So 492 even, we'll say. So let's end the flight and try it with 6 now. Oops, come on, game. Don't be silly. Toss that one away. Let's launch with 6. I'll get graphs of all these things together, I suppose, or try to, and so you guys can get an idea of what the power of each engine happens to be on these little tanks, and then we'll try the large tanks after we're done with all these engines. So, SAS engaged, and 3, 2, 1, launch. I'll catch you at the other side of this rocket too. So, see you guys in a second. Alright, we're back. This is almost over. I was just checking the impulse. This one is most efficient out in the upper atmosphere and in space, so that's part of the reason why it's not doing as well as the other one, plus it doesn't have as much thrust. So let's check on its maximum thing. Since it's done, it's at 475. 475, actually it's 476, it's close enough, 476. And I'll probably do this in kilometers since that's what I have here. Let's end the flight. Vehicle assembly building. It's time to try 5. This is launching from in atmosphere, not out of atmosphere. So there is a big difference. I'll show you why. Specific impulse is 320 down here. Its maximum is 370, so that makes a huge difference. SAS engaged, full throttle, 3, 2, 1, and launch. I'll see you again on the other side of the next force for things of fuel. So it drains from the top down, in case you're wondering. You can disable the flow, make it go from this one instead, and then you can re-enable the flow. So just a quick hint if you want to mess around with some things. So again, I'll see you once it's almost burned out. Alright, this one is halfway through its last fuel tank. This is the number 5, and it's doing quite well, it seems. It won't be as good as some of the other ones, but it'll get itself out of the atmosphere. It already is out. And its final height is 389, so we'll write that 389 kilometers. It's time to end this flight, and we will try with 4 now, and then move on to 3, and then we will do the next tests with the very large engine, this one, and then its counterpart, the large small engine, and then the very small engine, and the Spike. Those are the 6 engines that we will be working with. Oh no, 7, I forgot the radials. Anyway, let's launch this one in 3, 2, 1, launch, and I'll see you guys when this one reaches its apex, or is done burning, or whatever. See you guys in a second. Alright, we're back. This one is almost burned out. It just hit the orbit thing, just like what happened with the large engine at 4. This one may not make it out of the atmosphere by itself, but we'll check and we'll see what the maximum height happens to be. It says it's about what it seems to be as 267. So 267 even, we'll call it. And we have one more with this. And the flight, vehicle assembly building. And let's take care of this. Oops. Go away. Alright, now we'll launch with 3, the last one that we're going to do with this one. So you get to sort of see a little pattern here with each of these engines, what their little power curves are like, at least in launching from Kerbal. We will get into other ones later. Let's see, so SAS engaged, throttle to 100, and 3, 2, 1, ignition. This one should be fairly quick, and it'll launch really quickly. I want to show you quickly here too, because of the specific impulse being low, it will well, I guess that's just because of the consumption here is changing this. So these two are related, and high fuel consumption is bad. You don't want it. It's normally, at best, it can be 11, so yeah, the lower that is, the more efficient the engine is, which is why the specific impulse is going up. So again, I'll catch you as soon as this fuel tank, one more fuel tank burns. So see you guys in a second.